Hello everyone, this is ACHAI Akaya, and we are in game number 2 of the DeathCon5 versus KillerPlague matchup. And once again, if you have not been keeping up to date, KillerPlague is the last person representing the Vile Gaming community site. He is facing off against DeathCon5, who is one of 2 remaining members from SC2 Armory. SC2 Armory was in great shape after the first round, taking out 4 of the Vile Gaming Network players, but KillerPlague has proven himself to be a very, very viable opponent who has taken out 2 of the SC2 Armory players already, VGvSC2A and Tex-Mix, which, as I mentioned before, Tex-Mix won the Wrath of the Xel'Naga tournament, so he is definitely a pretty good player, and the fact that KillerPlague was able to take him out definitely speaks to the quality of skill that he has in StarCraft 2. But anyways, we are going to see how DeathCon5 handles him. He was able to win the first game pretty decisively. He used a very large amount of Immortals in the mix with his gateway units, which won the game for him. But it looks like the players chatting back and forth a little bit about hotkeys. And he said, use 6 for your Nexus, and he says, why 6? And he just says, try it later, in case you're watching a low quality stream and can't read that. And KillerPlague, I don't know, he's a goofy guy. But anyways, both players scouting out. This is going to be the map Metalopolis, which is a 4-player map, so both players, as you can see, trying to scout. And it looks like KillerPlague is actually sending his scout, unfortunately, in the wrong direction. Or what am I saying, unfortunately? I'm part of the SC2 Armory site, so I don't want him to find DeathCon5, because DeathCon5 is repping me and my site. So anyways, anybody from the SC2 Armory community, definitely be rooting for Rodrigo, who is DeathCon5 in this match. Sorry, excuse me, my voice is still a little bit gone from all the singing I had to do last week. But anyways, it looks like both players, once again, opening up pretty standard. We don't see any proxy buildings or any kind of cheese on the map, and as you can see here, KillerPlague just now finding the base of DeathCon5, and DeathCon5 already scouting out KillerPlague's base, seeing exactly what's going on. So both players are aware that there is nothing fishy going on as of yet, basically just 2 pylons and a gateway for each player, and it looks like the Cybernetics Core going down for DeathCon5 right now, and I don't see one yet for KillerPlague. It looks like he's actually opting to get out a Zealot before getting that Cybernetics Core, which, as you can see, no Zealot out for DeathCon5 yet. He just started building his first Zealot, so a slight variation, but both players building very similar nonetheless. And actually, just a quick note, this is the exact same build that both players did last game as well. So it seems that these players have worked very hard on refining their builds and are both using pretty much the same build order, and like to stick with what works. Not a whole lot of variation in their play style right now. We see that both players, once again, are using pretty much mirror builds. So we see that the Cybernetics Core just coming in for KillerPlague right now, which means it should be finished for DeathCon5. And it looks like we will be seeing the Warp Gate technology start researching here very soon. And we do see another gateway coming in for DeathCon5 as well, which I'm not sure if we've got another one going in yet for KillerPlague. It does not appear so, although I'm guessing he's going to be building another one here shortly, or possibly his robotics facility, as he usually likes to get his robotics facility before getting that second gateway. Although no, it looks like he is going to put down that second gateway first. So once again, both players going very, very similar, but it looks like KillerPlague is actually just a little bit behind DeathCon5 in the timing. As you can see, that there is already a robotics facility and the second gateway already finished here for DeathCon5, whereas the second gateway for KillerPlague is only about halfway done, and he has not yet started his robotics facility. If we take a look at the income tab here, we can see that KillerPlague is actually slightly ahead in the mineral count as far as the income goes. He does have 3 more harvesters right now. So he's got a little bit more coming in as far as minerals goes, but still he is somehow behind in the overall resource count, and that may be due to the units that he's built. He does have 1 Stalker and 1 Zealot out on the map right now. Although looking back at DeathCon5's base, he does have 2 Zealots and 1 Sentry. So I'm not sure exactly why KillerPlague, and another Stalker coming out there as well, and building an Immortal now too. Sorry, excuse me. But I'm not sure exactly why KillerPlague is behind at this point, because he should technically be ahead because he has more harvesters, but he is behind both in his tech and in the number of units that he has. So I'm not sure exactly what is causing him to be a little bit behind right now, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out, because right now you can see he's actually taking even more of an advantage on the harvester count. He's got 5 more harvesters than DeathCon5, so maybe if this game goes a little bit further down the line, that slight economic advantage will actually become something significant. And he is actually getting a very quick robotics bay. Last game we saw him actually go he built Immortals for a little while before switching to the Robotics Bay tech, which he did not actually even get any Colossi out before he was able to, or before DeathCon5 was able to take him down. So we'll see if getting this early Robotics Bay is enough to change the tide of that battle. But once again, getting that fast observer out, that is definitely one thing that I've seen different between these two players, is that DeathCon5 immediately likes to get out those Immortals, and as you can see, he's got one right now, and the second one just about to finish. But he gets those Immortals out very quickly, whereas KillerPlague likes to get that first observer out. So he gets that first observer, and then he tries to decide what to do from there. Usually he gets one or two Immortals out, but then switches to Robotics Bay. As you can see, he switched to Robotics immediately. I'm sorry, he got the Robotics Bay immediately after finishing the facility. So this allows him to start building Colossi right after his first observer is done. So we'll see if that's enough to hold off this army. There's a decent sized army from DeathCon5 moving out across the map right now. Going to put some pressure on the front of the base for KillerPlague, although I'm not sure if this is going to be enough to break the choke. There is a lot of Zealots up there, and of course with the Colossi going to be finishing, it looks like just about when DeathCon5 reaches his front door, that splash damage could be absolutely crucial in holding off this attack. And it looks like one of DeathCon5's one of his stalkers getting just a little bit too close there. Oh, and the observer for DeathCon5 getting spotted by KillerPlague's observer there and gets taken down by his stalkers. And it looks like the first Colossi is out on the map, so once again that could play a very significant role in the battle to come. Although one quick note to mention is that Immortals are very strong against Colossi because they are armored units, so the Immortals do their bonus damage. Versus armored, you can see there they do 50 damage as opposed to the only 20 damage that they do versus regular units. So we'll see if they're able to focus fire down that Colossi, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh, he's going to bring the Colossi on the low ground, and you can see just taking one hit from the Immortal there, lost a huge amount of shields there. So anyways, we'll see if he's able to hold this off. There is another Colossi coming out here shortly, although it looks like DeathCon5 trying to get for an early expansion despite not having gained any significant advantage, and it looks like he is getting out his own Robotics Bay. So it looks like we may see him try to switch into that Colossi tech as well. There's also Forge coming in, so I'm not sure if he's going to be using that for defense as far as building cannons. No, he cancels it. So I wonder if that was a mistake on his part. But there is a battle going out, a large battle going on outside of the base of KillerPlague, and both of these Colossi are still standing strong with a lot of HP. It looks like he's going to back out as both of his Immortals have gone down. He only has a handful of units yet, and he says God wasn't looking. So apparently he suffered some serious casualties because he was not paying attention to his army composition when they actually attacked the front door here, and DeathCon5 is in really bad shape because he has hardly anything to defend against this, and there is a large, very scary army of Protoss units from KillerPlague moving out across the map right now. Frantically, he's trying to get out some more units. He does have one Colossi out on the map now, but there is no range upgrade yet. Although if he can buy himself enough time, although it looks like KillerPlague going to move in. Oh, and the Stalkers get out of place. He manages to lose two of them before those units even get into play. So there are just too many units here from KillerPlague. I don't think that DeathCon5 really has a prayer right now, to be honest. And the Zealots surround that Immortal so quickly, and it just goes down almost instantaneously. And he said, "At least I failed." So GG, DeathCon5 loses the second game. We are 1-1 now, so it's going to go to an ace match to see if SC2 Armory can take down this entire matchup by getting a win from DeathCon5 in game number 3, or if KillerPlague can continue his assault on the SC2 Armory team by taking down yet another opponent. Anyways, we're going to move on to game 3 right now. GG.